what's one theme or topic that came up this year that perhaps you haven't heard brought up at a conference before and that you're really excited or pleased to hear?
I'm really excited that the subject of talent and ability to attract and retain talent for fintechs came up and was discussed here. Because the truth is, if we're going to build massive company, billion-dollar company, we need capital, yes, we need the good ideas in the partnerships, but first and foremost, we need the people who are going to work on that. So as you know, as a company grows, it goes way beyond the founders and the founding team. And one of the key measures, and ability to grow will be ability to attract enough workforce, qualified workforce to do that. And I'm glad that subject came up and we got the opportunity to discuss it.
What's interesting is this trend towards incumbent financial institutions coming to the party in terms of mobile wallets, mobile money.
So in terms of new incumbent, the incumbents coming to the party, as you mentioned now, and we could have been perceived in the past of playing with the disruptors. The truth is we're always on the side of the consumer, and our approach, our drive is just how do we get simple and relevant financial services in the hand of the African consumer. And I think, yes, it has to go through that challenge of the statu quo, and I'm glad it happened. And I think we're entering a new phase where the so-called incumbent, the existing financial services, are seeing the power of mobile, and are seeing the power of distributed agent network, are seeing the power of digitalizing some financial services. And as I always say, as long as the consumer wins, it's not really important what side of the fence organizations are, and we're not even sure if there is a fence anymore.
Give me a sense of what the scene looks like in that space in terms of regulation technology or any other sort of complementary technologies that must now exist to keep up.
I think in terms of technology or sub-industry that are coming up, definitely, as you mentioned, regulation is probably the biggest one because in general, we're going to live for a long time in a ever more regulated world of financial services. And, ability to address or responding to that in a nimble technology manner will become competitive advantage. And therefore, more and more companies will focus on part of that value chain and will come up with really proprietary solution, really clever way of doing things. And I believe something big will come out of that. Then, of course, we're seeing more and more things around user experience, because we all again agree that it's going to be mobile first, and your ability to keep people engaged on that device for your particular service, and why they will not just move to the next app and use the other interface of your competitor and so on, is also something that's going to be very important. I think we're going to see people specializing really in consumer engagement on mobile device or on touchscreen device. So for me, those are the two sectors to be watched in the next 10 years.
Let's assume it happens. This dream that Bitcoin becomes legal tender in most of the world, right? Hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that disrupt your business?
Actually, I think Bitcoin becoming a mainstream is not that hypothetical. I don't know about legal tender because that has some implication, but just as gold is not a legal tender, but people still trade in gold, and people buy gold to store value and so on. I think we kind of move beyond the line where Bitcoin will be at least something like that. So it's not that hypothetical. And just as I said, we see it at the moment just like a gold. It's another tradable commodity, if you want. It's a store of value. People can invest in it and so on. And we can accommodate it. Our business at the end of the day is not so much around a particular currency. We have to agree indeed that we still use fiat currencies when we do settlement and so on and so forth. But if someone want to be settled in Bitcoin one day, why not? I don't think it's that far off. There could be other good things beyond just the name that will come out of that. There could be better ways of doing settlement. There could be cheaper ways of moving money across the world, and that's all welcome. Again, it goes back to the consumer. If this thing helps the consumer, the African consumer, getting simple and relevant financial services, we will be behind it.
Okoudjou, thank you, man.
Pleasure. Thank you.